welcome. Thank you, everyone, for
It
tuning
brightens her
in.
mood. Just let her have it. Let her have it.
Welcome to this live morning.
Well, I think already met our quota for F bombs, but I'll add one more. How was fucking Boston, kid?
Boston was great.
You went to a fucking you went to the Bo Sox.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have. Oh, I already told you. Something
Yeah.
exciting happened. I'll save it for a little bit later in
Okay.
the show once we get a little
Oh,
more
that's the
people in
so
here.
we call it tease.
Yes, but I did have a lovely weekend in Boston, a little work, a little pleasure. The weather ended up being great. We were nervous at first because it said some rain and we weren't sure if the game was going to get rained out, but it really didn't rain on us at all. That day was sunshine. It was cool during the weekend. That was like really kind of nice just to get
Yeah.
this like crisp weather, which was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, went to the Fine Arts Museum.
Oh,
There was a Van Gogh exhibit. Went
scene
to
of a very
the
famous crime.
what crime?
Oh, that's the
That's the ladies' house.
yes. Sorry. See, you know
The
Boston better than I do already.
I watched some vlogs in preparation.
Nice.
Um, Went to the Red Sox
Isabella
game.
Stewart Gardner.
Went to the seaport for some chowder.
Nice.
Got some chowder, which was
Uh,
delicious. Um, yeah, gotta say the hotel we stayed at was really cool.
which
It
one?
was the Charles Mark Hotel in Back Bay. Hi, Mornin, says Fi Fan. Hi,
Oh,
Fi
that's
Fan.
all
Thanks for
I
being
need.
here. Appreciate
That
you.
is all I need. I'm trying to
Uh,
get some of this good stuff up.
we stayed at the Charles Mark Hotel. Now, it was a converted brownstone. I guess it like belonged to someone and they put rooms in it.
Uh-uh.
Uh, the first night, the hotel was on the company that I work for. They put me up because I asked them to. And I was in a queen's cabin, which is a room without windows in the basement.
Seriously?
Yes. It's
Well,
like,
that's the kind of cabins queens used to get back in the Middle Ages, so
I
that makes
guess
sense.
so.
Yeah.
But what was really cool was down there right outside of our door was a collection of VHS tapes and DVDs. And in each room, they have a VHS player and a DVD player.
To be like retro and cool and
So we watched Liar Liar, we watched Ace Ventura on tape. I mean, it was a real I feel like Jim Carrey is the ultimate sort of actor to watch on those two media platforms.
well, I famously, and as I think I've told you, the gayest, and this is no joke, it is the gayest hotel in South Beach. Of course, Lauren booked it, which is I was kind of happy with because it was like the one place that I wasn't worried about too much aggressive male attention. I certainly got some.
Yeah.
Men in speedos 24/7. There was drag parties every night, but it was the house famously, and they have stuff about it all over the place. That was where Jim Carrey lived in Ace Ventura.
Oh,
It's now the gayest hotel in South Beach.
funny. Yeah, as I was watching Ace Ventura, I was like, I don't know that I had ever seen it before.
What? It's
Yeah,
typical you.
because at first I was confused. I was like, pet detective. Does he take but he's just stealing animals? What's going
I
on?
don't think you know what detective means.
Yeah. But I realized right out of the gate, God, that his kind of humor is not my kind of humor. Uh, it's all bits, all the alrighty then and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, comes from that movie. But watching it, what I found to be the funniest part of that movie is when he is at that rich guy's house party and there is like a string quartet playing. And Jim Carrey walks by the guy playing the cello and just pushes his hand away and keeps walking. That was the funniest thing to me. I think because it was so understated and just unexpected and like,
Well, yes, you like the cerebral stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was that moment is what I remember the most from this movie. Isn't that funny?
Oh,
Anyway.
I'll tell you what. I rewatched MacGruber 2 nights ago. Oh, I'm sure you've never seen it.
What is it?
I, I forgot that it might be one of the funnier movies of the last 20 years. It's based on a Saturday Night Live sketch, a real one off, one joke thing that makes fun of MacGyver
Okay.
by, oh, I always get the names confused. Not Will Arnett, Will, the other one on Saturday Night Live. That Will Arnett was not on Saturday Night Live. Will Forte.
Okay.
He is MacGruber. And Val Kilmer is the bad guy. Van Kunt is his name.
Oh boy.
As you can tell, this is not a PG-13. And Kristen also in the Saturday Night Live. God, what is it with me and names lately?
I
She's
don't
one
know.
of the most favorite Saturday Night Live women of all time. Um, Lots of Saturday Night Live people are in it, but it is. I was having some problems. I forgot how good it was. Seizure laughter, but I highly recommend that one. I'm sure Douglas loves it because he has good taste.
Yeah, speaking of funny, that's my segue. You very graciously gave me an idea of what to listen to on the drive home from Boston, and it's an
One time you
episode.
ever listen to me, yes,
It's an episode of Smartless, a live episode
yeah,
with John Mayer
it was
as the
good.
guest,
Yeah,
and it was pretty good.
yeah.
Man, it is something to get used to though, because I don't listen to it all the time. The way those three guys just interrupt each other is uh annoying. I don't know if that's the right word.
They got to get their zingers in.
Yeah, and
Their
but it's
their
all
love language is destroying each other.
self like censor not censoring, but like self commentary. Like they're interrupting each other to talk about what the other person is doing. So someone's about to tell a story and they're like, and he's about to tell a story. It's like it's very
Yes,
the flow is not really flowing, but it seems to work for them. So
yeah.
but John Mayer was a very great guest. He did end up singing, which I think everyone wanted, right?
It's
Uh
sounding like this. It's just even from the beginning of his career, it's just always been like this. And I
hey,
guess the ladies love it.
speaking of shows, PSA for Bill says Five Fan, a new Conan with Timothy Oliphant just dropped.
Goes without
Um,
saying, I have always and will continue to like you more than Joe. Of course, I got up very early this morning and I've already listened to it, and
wow.
it is a absolute delight. They are both good friends, and there's a lots of giggling, and not a lot gets done for that reason, but Timothy Oliphant is a national treasure. So good looking that you would think I would not like him, but he is impossible to not like. He
Wait,
is fantastic.
hold on. I'm googling what he looks like because I don't know that I know this. Oh, um, yeah. I don't. What is it? Maybe it's the
What's wrong with you?
hair that I don't care for, and not the color, the straightness. It's
Huh?
just
Really?
it almost reminds me of like a chia pet, the way it grows from his head.
Well, you'll like this, and this is sort of inside the mind of Timothy Oliphant. He gets you. I doubt you even know who he is. Josh Duhamel. Does that sound
Yes.
familiar?
Oh yeah. No, they look alike.
Well, one time they finally saw, and Josh Duhamel would get it from him, and he would get it from Josh Duhamel, and they never met. And then there was a celebrity Dodger. You can bring your family onto the field thing, and he saw Josh Duhamel, and they immediately just started laughing because they would get mistaken for each other all the time. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, can you do me a favor?" And again, this is very Timothy Oliphant. He said, "Can you just pose with my entire family, and I'm going to use that as my Christmas card?" And he did that,
That's
and
great.
very few people noticed. One of whom was his mom, who did
Wow.
not notice, and
Wow.
she was at the brother's house and talking about how great the Christmas card was, and his brother was like, "Mom, you know that's not Timothy, that's Josh Duhamel. Like that's a
I
joke."
think it's Josh Dumel.
For Americans, I pronounce it like the
Oh, I
way
see. Got it.
from the area of France that he was born. But and she's just like, "Oh, I thought he looked taller." I don't know why I think she sounds like Lauren's mom, but that's my impression of his mom.
That is just like a
Um,
generic mom voice, I feel.
yeah, and it works. But yeah, delightful.
Speaking of ball games, so I
Hmm.
went to a Red Sox game on Friday night in Boston, my first time to Fenway Park. Uh,
I thought you'd been before.
what?
I thought you'd been before for some
No,
reason.
no, no. Um, it It's wild how it feels small,
It
but
is.
is it?
It,
Okay.
it used to be a lot smaller. They have made major additions, including
Yeah.
on the Green Monster. There used to be seats there.
Yeah, it feels small. The shape of the field is wild. That is
Yeah.
so strange. Um, it really felt like all locals were there, which they were playing the Astros. There were a lot of Astros fans there, but it just felt
So
like a real like neighborhood vibe,
sure.
which was cool. The game itself was pretty slow. It was a bit of a slog. Astros scored first in the first inning. Then there was nothing for about 8 more innings. Then the Red Sox tied it up. They went into overtime, extra innings, whatever you call it. And last play of the game was very cool. I believe we got like 2 runs in. So the Red Sox won. That was a
Now,
really cool thing to experience.
does I believe Douglas is a Mets fan, correct?
Mhm.
Does he hate the Red Sox as a result,
Listen, neither of us is such a fan of anything that we would give enough passion to hating anyone else.
including each other?
That's
But
fair.
yes, well, yeah, they famously that's the Bill Buckner, which I'm sure you've heard of. That is the World Series, and they were playing the Mets. The Mets ended up winning Game 6 and then going on to win Game 7 in a ridiculous fashion. And the Red Sox were indeed so close to winning in 1986 before the Buckner flub, even though many other things happened. Poor Buckner. That Bob Costas famously was waiting in the locker room for the Red Sox. They had accidentally flashed Red Sox World Series champions 1986 on the screen. And at the
Oh,
very last minute, they had to take down all the plastic on the locker rooms with Bob Costas there so as the champagne were to not get into them when they're spraying it on everyone and immediately ship it out before all these dejected Red Sox fans go in there and then
wow.
go on to lose game 7. And so as a result, as much as the Red Sox fans hate the Yankees, of course, they have never had good thoughts about the Mets as well. Just the
Yeah.
whole New York thing, they're not a fan of.
Well, Five Fan asked, did I end up going in full Yankees outfit? I
I
did
told her
not.
not to. Yeah.
I did not. I'm happy I didn't. Uh, it also would have clashed with my can of Allagash White that I was drinking. Uh, Smartass Al says, aren't most MLB games a bit of a slog, boring? Yes, you are correct. However, the games are quicker now because of those new rules.
Shockingly so.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think the most exciting part of this game was me and my group ended up on the Jumbotron
mm-hmm.
during Sweet Caroline. I forget what inning that
Yes.
is, maybe the eighth.
A
Uh,
seventh? Oh, they do take me out, so maybe it's a different inning, but
I'm
I think it's a
I'm
seventh.
really not sure, but here's what's so funny. You know, the whole game I'm watching them put people on the Jumbotron and I'm thinking, "Man, if I was put on the Jumbotron, I would act so cool." Like I wouldn't be like, "Oh, look, it's me. It's me." And whatever.
I don't believe you.
Until it happened to me and I'm
Sure.
seeing myself and I go, "Doug," and no one else in my group sees this. I'm like, "Douglas, Douglas."
Uh,
And then they catch the tail end of it, but I still don't know where the hell the camera was. It happened so quickly. I don't know how they found me, but they
More
did.
importantly, you didn't get a picture. So
I
as far
did
as
it.
I'm concerned, you're lying.
It happened so quickly. Um, but it is such a cool feeling. Um, yeah, and then of course I spent the rest of the game like trying to get on it again. But
They
yeah,
probably
it was
thought
fun.
you were local because you're kind of pale. They like the brunettes, and you're drunk. So they probably, to your credit, thought that you were a complete masshole. So that should make you feel good. You really blended.
Thank you. I mean, as an acting exercise, yeah, that is something I always try to do is to like really become the character, costume, dialect. I kept saying, I parked my car in Harvard Yard and
Classic mistake.
Took the T over here. Here?
You didn't have enough Falcons.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm my Boston accent's terrible, as I've learned the hard way several times. But it's good. You might want to hire that dialogue coach again. But other than that,
Yeah.
it's a start.
But it was, gosh, it was a really fun game.
Well, did you
Um,
do the Newberry thing? I suggested that. That's kind
what
of
is
cool.
What does that mean?
Well, they close down Newberry on the weekends. At least they used to. And so it's like
I
all
don't.
walking, and they move all of the stores. This is way before COVID. Not everyone does it, but like they move everything outside the
I mean, we
stores.
stayed very close to Newbury, and we were on there a bunch. I don't remember it being closed, but it's
Maybe they don't do it anymore. They used to.
yeah.
I don't know
But
why they
we
would in summer.
I don't know. I don't know, Bill. Why don't you get on the board? Why don't you join the community board and get those open streets going daily? You
You
know,
know what? They should tell me to join the board, and you should thank me because there wouldn't be a Boston were it not for my family. How about that? How about that? Really, you'd be speaking English with an English accent were it not for the Dawses. So there.
oh my God, I can't. Please go already and do your talk so you can just
I
get it out of
guess
your
you hate
system.
America. Guess we got
Um,
that on record. Can't edit it out. It's live.
on YouTube, Jay Thomas just gifted 19.99. Thank you, Jay.
Thank
Saying
you, Jay.
I don't think I can show it here on Riverside where I'm streaming, but Jay says, I got tickets for Oasis at Soldier Field for the 28th this month.
Oh, I'm
What
jealous.
he says, what else do I need to do in Chicago? Definitely that Architecture River Cruise. That is the
Yeah,
best
that's always a
thing
famous one.
I've ever done. I always suggest that people do that. Uh,
My claim to fame is
highly
I took
recommend.
my claim to fame is I took an X that I recall Joe really liking. That I was able through my various journalism skills to determine and really prove that the same captain that we had on, female, no, don't you know, was the exact same one that the Dave Matthews Band went over a bridge in Chicago and famously dumped all of their refuse being poop, onto the Chicago architectural tour. They got sued
It's
out of
important to
their.
say it was the tour bus, not just them holding buckets of poop.
Might as well have been, Either way, it
Yeah.
was their poop. And by the way, when you look at Dave Matthews, the first thing that comes to your mind, or at least mine, is like, that guy's a shitter. Dave Matthews looks like he takes some
He wakes up in the
prolonged.
morning, takes a dumping, and
That's not
yeah,
bad.
that's as
That's
far as
better
I
than
get.
your Boston.
Thank you.
But yeah, that guy takes some dumps. And yeah, so I met this poor woman. And luckily that didn't happen on our tour. But that is a good one. Uh, it's a cliche, but you should probably see Second City. You're definitely going to see some
Hmm.
people that will end up being on Sound Live. You're going to want to go to Billy Goats, even though it's not as fun in the summer because it's almost got an underground feeling to it. But famously, that is where the Cubs curse comes from. The owner of the Billy Goats used to take the goat, his pet goat, Greek place. It's also a Saturday Night Live sketch. That he would take it to Wrigley Field all the time, and when they were in the World Series, famously, I believe against Babe Ruth, they would not let him in because it's the World Series, and you just can't have a goat in there. And so he put a Greek curse on Wrigley Field and the Cubs specifically, and then that curse lasted until 2016. The Billy Goat curse.
The
I
Billy.
can see we've lost Joe.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you start talking about Bill, I
Nice,
tend to check out.
nice. See,
Um,
you're turning into Shameless, by the way, with all that.
The one thing I remember loving, this was ages ago in Chicago, was I went to a really great steakhouse. It's by the Google building in Chicago. I'm not sure what area that is, but it's like where all the warehouses are.
I don't know where the
Um,
Google building is.
Steakhouse called Swift and Sons, and they had a resident
My brother
sleight
did.
of hand artist at this restaurant. Like they just employed this person, I guess, to walk around to the tables and
Mm-hmm.
entertain
That's kind of a Chicago
severely
thing,
drunk people, which was
right?
me. This guy was incredible. I don't know how he did what he
You were
did.
loaded. You are what they call a hit. Like that
Maybe.
is a good hit for
Yeah.
us. The
I like
conmen and magicians
I
see
like to
you.
imagine all of the servers go back to the kitchen and they're
Give
like, "Yo,
notes.
my table 24 hammered. They are going to love." And then they're like, "No, no, no. My table 8 just polished off their second bottle of wine and they only had a shrimp cocktail, so they definitely need the sleight of hand artist."
You're not wrong. Yeah, no, I think that's probably exactly what happens. And then the hope would be that they're drunk enough to tip exorbitantly as well.
I mean, yeah, did I tip? Probably not. I
Probably
was
not.
I was probably that's the issue, right? You have to be drunk enough to be entertained by this, but not too drunk where you forget to tip.
Yeah, hopefully he sleight of hand stole your watch.
I mean,
So you got
honestly,
something out of
yeah.
it too.
He sleight of hand can just take a few dollars out of my wallet, and that's fine.
Uh, well, that's a good recommendation. I never even heard of that place. I'm the last. I go there so infrequently. I'm gonna try to go this summer if I
Um,
can
but hey,
save a couple enough shekels.
speaking of major cities, Douglas and I were also talking about this on our drive back. I don't know if he heard this in a podcast or he saw like a TikTok or something, but it was people talking about the top 4 cities in the US. Now, I don't know what the criterion is for that, but most people agree that the top 3 are New York, LA, and Chicago. But
I
what
saw
would
that one, by the
Oh,
way.
you
My brother
did?
said that to me.
Okay.
Yes.
What would you say is the 4th?
From what I recall, I was very shocked because I have been there for a wedding, and while delightful, I would not put it in a top 10. Houston.
What? Oh, Houston?
I believe it was Houston, was it not?
I don't know.
And I couldn't. I mean, it's got good barbecue, but I can think of a lot better ones. New Orleans is up there. I mean, the
Yeah.
sweltering humidity is rough, but
Yeah, I mean,
Houston would not be there.
yeah, Douglas and I
And
were
how would it beat
chatting
Austin? I mean, I
about,
maybe see.
yeah, about cities that we would put just that we've been to. I mean, there's certainly many I haven't been to, so I can't be the judge of that, but he was saying his would probably be New Orleans. We have spent a lot of time there, but it feels really small. Uh
That's what I like
in
about it.
terms of food and culture and diversity, uh yes, it should be in the top, but I don't know if it would be number 4 for me. Then I said maybe Austin, just
I've
because
never been.
it does feel like a hub. There's a food scene, there's college, there's like all these things that kind of make it a major city in my mind. But I don't know, in terms of culture, I don't yeah, I'm not sure.
I
Um
really enjoyed. I don't even know if you call this city. And ugh, I wonder how it's doing now. I think I've told you before. I really enjoyed Asheville, North Carolina.
yeah, well, it's now doing that bounce back after the
It's got
awful flooding.
decimated. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
their Katrina. Um, oh, and well, speaking of heat, which I guess we kind of were, but this is almost a down date, and I completely blame you for this. Uh, all that talk about public pools we did 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
I finally, actually, this is like the second time I've done it since we talked about it. I finally went to the gigantic, and dude, you have no idea how big this thing is. The gigantic Central Park pool.
Okay.
And it is the width of it is got to be at least an Olympic sized pool. The length is truly, and I'm not exaggerating, like it's the size of a football field. It's probably
Wow.
the biggest pool I've ever been into. Maybe one in Vegas, I don't know. But and they really press home the point. And it's very shockingly clean, but it is run as if it were a public pool in say 1939 Berlin. They the rules are so strict. They will
Yeah.
not let you, and this is a heads up for fat people, they will not let you go out there with a shirt on. You have to leave everything in your locker. You have to prove that you have a lock. You can only bring out bottled water out there. I, of course, was smart enough to think ahead and pour 2 giant jugs full of high noon spritzers. So no one's going to tell me not to drink. Um, the guys can wear swimming shirts that have to be of a certain fabric, of which they will check. There are a million lifeguards that won't let you do anything.
Mm.
Obviously, no diving boards. There's a couple other really. Everything has to stay in the locker. Uh, just very strict about so much stuff. And the other thing being that per our talk, and you demanding that we do the story about the huge amount of pooping in the pool cases that
Yep.
New York has,
Yep.
for the next 48 hours, I was expecting, and by then I should have known better, I was waiting for pink eye.
Yeah.
I had it in my head that there was going to be some of that because there's so many kids. Although it didn't get as crowded as I thought it was going to be. And the other thing being, luckily, good news being I did not get the pink eye, but I was there too early, and so I'm just kind of sitting by where the line gathers and just reading the stories and what have you. And then I start seeing the line is progressing, and more people are coming up, and it's one of those things where the bars where the line goes, it's sort of like an old amusement park. They go
Yeah.
around the circumference of the pool, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck that, I'll just go to where the line is ending right now. So I jump over the bar right in the middle of it. And I didn't, and I know you're wondering, I didn't get the balls, but I got the area in between the balls and the asshole, which I believe
Oh,
the scientists call the taint. And
yeah.
I had never hurt that area before. It's a different pain than getting kicked in the balls, but it is not far off.
Yeah. Did
And
anyone see this, and was there like a collective "ooh" from
yes,
the crowd?
and
Okay.
it was horrifically painful. And it stuck with me for a good amount of time to the point where I'm like, I might just go home. But I don't even think I could have ridden my bike at that point. And then it finally went away a little bit. And then, if you thought this was too much information, so I didn't get the pink eye, but on Sunday, I initially peed blood, and
Oh,
immediately
yeah.
I'm like, this is it. All of my bad behavior has finally come to pass, and I'll die soon. And it took me several hours to realize, oh, because like there's things going on in between balls and the thing. And I'm like, okay. And like, so yeah, I'm sure you're happy to hear that so far the pee has been very healthily clean since then. But I had never done that before, and that was a very jarring thing to see.
Oh my
So
god.
I don't know if that I risk outweighed the reward for the pool.
It would have been crazy if after that happened to you, like after you hurt yourself on that bar, if then you're in the swimming pool, you've had your
Thank
second
God I
high
was.
noon in a water bottle, and you're like, I really got to pee, but I don't want to get out of the pool. I'm just going to pee in the pool. And then it's just blood
Oh,
pee. Like that would have been
oh my God. Because they
awful.
always say that the purple dye is actually an old wives' tale, and they don't really do that. But they would actively spread it so as to dissuade kids from peeing in the pool.
Yeah.
You would be able to see this red.
Yeah.
That would have been my dye. Yes.
Ugh. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
boy. Yeah, that was. I have not felt something like that in a long time.
So, okay, what did we learn from all of this?
Nothing.
Uh, Possibly that rules are there for a reason.
Rules are for fools.
Maybe respect literal boundaries. Don't hop over them, go around them. And I just don't know that public pools are for you, Bill. I think you need uh maybe a private pool where you can bend the rules more. What do you expect from a government pool? Of course there's going to be so many rules.
And it opens at 11, which I thought was odd too. Goes
Well,
from 11 till 7.
these teenage lifeguards don't wake up so early, so you
That
gotta.
you're not wrong, and they were all very young. I think that my idea of being the world's oldest lifeguard, although there was a delightful story, a local story about a guy 75 as a lifeguard at Rockaway or something, but they're in the minority. So I think you might be right on that. But uh, other than that, it's like again, it's alarmingly clean. It's very new. This is like the first year I think after they
Yeah.
revamped it. But the locker thing's a big. There's a lot of other rules I'm forgetting, but it's also just huge, huge, huge. And I don't think it was. I expected it to be a capacity on Saturday, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I had heard all these stories about, people being turned away because the lines were so long they would never
Right.
get in. Do you know what they're going to do with this pool in the winter?
No, it doesn't look ice skating rinky.
Yeah.
Because I think like the Woolman's rink is like all pickleball all the time now, like even in the
Oh,
winter. So I don't know.
it would be so cool if it became a skate park. Like they took the water out
That would be ripping rad.
and everyone could just like skate through it.
You ever date a
Anyways.
skater dude? Probably not gay enough for you.
What?
Well, you in high school, that's usually when one dates a skater dude. You were dating musical theater people.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. They wore the tight jeans and they had the long emo hair and yeah,
Ooh, so maybe there was a skater boy
they
in your past.
I'm just trying to think just because I went to a school like really close to the Jersey Shore, so it was like a lot of surfers. And if you're a surfer, you're usually also a skateboarder,
Yes.
and that's just like like everyone kind of did. So I'm not sure. There was this one kid, oh, I forget his name, but he did skateboard.
Oh,
We didn't date though. Missed
did you have a little
opportunity.
crush on him?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you listen to Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy" on a loop and
I
think
mean
about him?
that was truly the time period. Like that song
Yeah.
came out right at that time. But listen,
She said,
when
"See you later, boy."
these
I don't
were
remember that lead line. Go
these
ahead.
were the back brace years. So if one of these
Oh,
little boys even just gave me eye contact, I would be like, he maybe there's a chance.
Do you know what a young, what do they call it? Young adult lit book this would be if you were in your back brace and you
Uh-huh.
were pining away for this cool skater dude, and then all of a sudden he's trying to do an alley or something. I don't know what they're called, and bad injury, and he gets a back brace, and then you kindly nurse him back to health throughout the whole summer. And at first, you're just the girl that's the friend, a little like the lyrics of Skater Dude or Skater Boy. And then by the end of the summer, and this is how I picture you kissing when you were in a teen. You both hold your hands like this, and I'm not done yet.
Gross.
And that's
See,
like for 40 minutes.
See, I thought your imagination was going to go somewhere else. I thought you were going to say that the skater boy was going to use the hard, flat part of the back brace that I was wearing as a point of contact for the skateboard. So I was going to help him complete a really cool trick by just
That's the
like,
ending. That's the ending. He looks out in the audience because he's just been working on this with you, but he didn't want to out you for your back brace. Oh, this is
Chris
$1 million
says
idea.
the title should be Bracing for Love.
You guys, do
Not
we
a
have
bad
to, is
idea.
this is just doing this live, does that count as a trademark? I mean, this is a we've got the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow. I'm proud of all of us. That was a group effort right there.
That was nice. Um, I mean, yeah, maybe if maybe when I'm
Really high.
retired, I might go into some children's books and I might, cuz right
Sounds
now,
creepy.
Bill, my all of my books are really self-help for
No.
adults.
No, you don't know what all of my many. You don't know what that part means, and you don't know what books means clearly because you have never written anything. I'm still not convinced that you are literate. How about that?
Oh, um that hurts my feelings
Spell
and
feelings, real quick. Don't think about it. Spell feelings. Sounding it out. Close
Feelings.
enough. Were any of those even letters? It's just a
They
lot of
were.
guttural sounds.
Um So, everyone, we are live. Anyone have any questions? Anything you want to ask us? I might ignore it if I don't like it, or I might answer it. You never
If it's
know.
bad about me, she'll probably answer it.
That's true.
Well, I know you got a lot of stuff going on today, but well, I mean, it's been a week. Anything, any other exclamation points besides Boston? Do you have any recommendations for me? I've not been there for a while. I am going on September 30th.
The T is really the best way to get around. It's
I do
actually
remember that.
really
I did
easy
used
to
to live there.
use. It's
Yes.
cheaper than the subway, but probably because it closes down. Um, but it's clean, it's frequent.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take Ubers if you can help it.
I walk so much more than I used to. Boston, I was a lazy young punk, minus the cool part of being a punk. And I just take the T everywhere because, lazy. But I'm at a point now in my old New York life where I'm so sick of our subway and I do walk everywhere, sometimes well over an hour. There have been more than once that I've walked to your place, and that's a hike. Um, that I now think travailing Boston, it's such a walking town and it is so small that I doubt I will use the T much at all unless the weather is really bad.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. If you're in just that one kind of area, Back
mm-hmm.
Bay to
I lived
North
in
End
Boston
to the
proper, baby.
water.
Some old stomping grounds.
Oh God, you know what? Five Fan is so right. I have written a children's book. I totally forgot. It was
No,
How to
but
Shave a
you gave
Possum.
her a fake graphic of one that was very nice.
No,
But
no,
no,
no.
there
It
was
was
no
a real
possum
book.
shaving.
Bill's just pissed that I didn't dedicate it to him, but
But you
I
have to. I think even in the dedication, you have to have show some semblance of spelling.
mm.
Quick, Joel, what's a vowel?
A vowel is what Vanna does an excellent job at turning around
It's not
on.
spelling now. Just because you watch that a lot and still are pissed off that you're. Didn't your mom get screwed by Wheel of Fortune? I know she got. She did
Yeah.
win.
My mom was on Wheel of Fortune 38
She was
years
pregnant
ago.
for you or something,
She was
wasn't
pregnant with
she?
my sister, my older
Oh, okay.
sister. And this was back in the day before you had cash prizes. It was when, after you won each puzzle, they would turn like a room around and you could win whatever prize or
Well,
a
I remember
room
that.
setup was there. So I grew up in a home just full of prizes. My parents'
Oh,
bedroom set they won. The dining room
that's
hutch they
great, man.
won. My mother won some like a gift card to Gucci or something. My dad still wears his Gucci tie. My mother had like $50 left to Gucci. And back in the 80s, $50 at Gucci could get you a really nice tie.
I didn't know
Um,
Gucci made ties.
but my mother was winning everything. She's very good at word puzzles. She loves
What
Scrabble. She's
happened?
memorized every 2 and 3 letter word so she can be a better Scrabble player.
That's
Uh,
great.
but I don't know what happened. The woman next to her, if you're on a hot streak with the wheel, then the puzzle just stays with you, right? So this woman next to her just like was guessing every letter under the sun and like was doing well and gaining points or whatever, and so she ended up going to the showcase or the whatever at the end, and my mother
Gotcha.
didn't. And I remember her saying that Pat Sajak was kind of an asshole.
Yes,
um
that was it. I remember that.
okay, wait, hold on. Jay says $5 if you can't tell me the
Well,
final score of the Red Sox game. Sorry, Jay, can't tell you.
that's too easy.
No, I'm okay. It
I
was one to
can't do a lot
one.
of stuff. Give me
It was
something I can't do.
hold on. It was 1-1, and then there was someone on second and third.
I almost think I remember the score.
So I think it was two more.
Well, was it
So
a
I
walk
want to
off?
say it ended up being 3-1. It was not a walk off. The guy hit it into the outfield, and I guess because of the new rules in baseball, the guy at third definitely got in. Maybe it was only 2-1. I'm actually not sure. If anyone on here can tell me the the
Well,
final score
as
of the
far as your
game.
precious Yankees are concerned, you were part of a game that has now contributed to a game and a half lead for the one Boston Red Sox, who did nothing during the deadline, above the Yankees. The Yankees are really sucking lately, more so
Yeah,
than they
no,
have in a long time.
the Red Sox I think are like third or fourth in the division.
No, the Yankees are fourth. Oh
Then the
no,
Red
maybe
Sox are third.
The Yankees are third. The Red Sox, it's the Blue Jays, I believe the Red Sox, but they're five back from the Jays, I think, and then
Huh.
the Yankees. Don't quote me on that. It's not my division. I don't care.
I
I'm
would
trying to think who
never
else I'm
quote
missing.
you on
Yeah,
anything. Wait, Chris said oh, wait, this can't be right. The Sox won 6-1 on Friday night. I went to the Friday night game.
she drinks a lot.
There's no way. That's not possible because you can't have if it was 1-1 and then
If
they went
only there was
into
some sort of
extra
machine we
innings,
could use
you
to find
can't
out.
add 5. There's only four people who could possibly, even if it was bases loaded, right, with a homer.
Maybe you should stick with children's books that you don't write.
I am going to write a children's book about baseball,
Sound it out.
and it's going to be called
Joanne's baseball bandwagon.
no, it's going to be called I base, I ball, I eat a peanut. Which I
Man,
did. I had peanuts at the game. Those are fun.
how's the
Just
next morning?
cracking open a peanut. Great. Oh my god, so much fiber. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
6
but
to 1.
you look like an elephant. Yeah, your poops look like a payday.
I think you're supposed to chew your peanuts, Bill, not swallow them whole.
You don't know anything about baseball. You never chew the peanuts.
Chris says 6 to 1 was yesterday's score, and that Friday was 2 to 1.
There you
Okay,
go.
so I did get that. Fabulous. Um, who Jay says, who gives a damn how many games does Ole Miss win this year? New quarterback. Ole Miss, I don't know. Is that football?
Yeah, college. I'm the wrong person to ask. Um, but any good bar recommendations? Again, it's been a long time for me.
We were visiting with friends who were in town, and they brought their 4.5-year-old
Oh,
who we hung out with all day. Now, let me tell you,
ooh!
this is
Bad
a
news on the friends part. What were they thinking?
well, we haven't seen them in so long, and I'd never actually met their kid because they live on the West Coast.
So
But
you consider yourself lucky for that? I
this
mean,
is a cool kid, though. This kid
ugh.
could hang all day, never complained, was just
Okay.
like nice, played with his Legos. Um, just like a cool, and loved the baseball game. It was just like, it was actually a really fun time. But as a result, we didn't really go out much. But Douglas and I did go to on Newbury Street. It's a place called Joe's. They have a few locations.
Oh, sure.
But
Joe's been there
yeah,
forever.
good drinks and like bar food. Really fun service staff. Uh, we went to Capital Burger, which is like Capital Grill, but the
Been
burger
there
joint.
forever. Oh, yeah.
That place is really good. Um, and then for really good seafood, we went on the water to the Sail Loft, which is actually just up from a Joe's on the water. But it's
Well,
like,
Joe's there.
you put your name in, there's a very long wait. But the food is great and really fresh. So, but as far as bars, yeah, we actually didn't go to many. I know, bummer.
Um, oh, thanks for nothing. But it sounds like a fun time overall.
Yeah, it was. Jay Gross now says again on YouTube, I can't show it on here. 4.99 for the effort. Bill, any info on the pitch betting guy for Cleveland?
No, I don't know much about that. I saw that teased in Sports Center, and then, of course, I'm sure I was reading my stories or something. Although I should have been listening to my stories. I don't know much about that at all, but that is a big deal. I mean, there have been some weird sport betting stuff going on other sports, but baseball's sort of the godfather of neither betting nor baseball should meet, and that's mostly because of my team in 1919. No, I need to because that's interesting, and it's very easy to do these days. Because the thing about it is, Joe, with gambling now becoming so intertwined with sports, it would theoretically be very easy to obviously not throw a game, which was sort of more the thing back in the day,
Hmm.
but to rather maybe get a couple base on balls on an inning. Very
Yeah.
hard to decide whether or not that's real or fake. And if a certain type of bet is being made for you to be doing just that, and you get a little on the side, who's to know? So I don't know if that's what he's accused for, but I am happy when anything awful happens to Cleveland. So I'm all for it, and also just to take the shadow of gambling off the White Sox for once. That would be nice.
But I'm
We're
just
still
so
reminded of this daily
fascinated by the idea, right? That you can have a ball coming at you that's 97 miles per hour average,
at
and
this
you can
point.
be
Yeah,
like, you know what? This time I'm going to hit it in a way that will get me just to second base, or I'm going to do it in a way like the
those are a
fact
little. It's usually the defensive errors and things of that nature that make it a little easier. You
I
know that
just the fact I'm just trying not to get hit in the face with that ball. So
you got to
like
protect the moneymaker.
it's just crazy to me that there is truly any strategy involved at all in baseball, given the speed, given the speed and intensity
I mean, I
at
don't know. As
which
far as
it
the
flies
speed's
through the
concerned,
air.
I don't know how they do it. I do have a sag hag for you if you are savvy. I know
Sure.
we've been on for a little bit, but I know you like your sag hags. Actually be. I'm sadly interested in your opinion on this because I have some. Um, okay, here we go. Sag hag. There we go. Ever heard of this guy, Neil McDonough? McDonough. You've certainly seen him before. He's like one
Yeah,
of those
I
guys
had
that's
to
been a lot.
I Google searched him and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him before."
Right. I think he's got a very weird face. Um, in a July 30th interview with, why am I even giving them USA Today? Oh, where I go for all my American news. Um, on the Nothing Left Unsaid podcast. Sorry, USA Today is just reporting this. No, Neil McDonough, known for his roles on series such as Band of Brothers, Boomtown, and Desperate Housewives, opened up about his rocky experience in the entertainment industry due to his long-standing refusal to perform intimate scenes with his female co-stars. Sometimes you need to be crucified in life to realize what life is really about, said McDonough. I assume comparing himself to Jesus Christ when it comes to not kissing girls. McDonough claimed
It
that he was
gets more
fired.
religious.
Oh, sure does. McDonough, I'm surprised you read it.
Yeah.
McDonough claimed he was. Oh, wait. Does this mean you can't read? Fuck. McDonough claimed he was fired from ABC's dramedy Scoundrels, never heard, for refusing to kiss his co star and perform sex scenes. I won't kiss any other woman because these lips are meant for one woman, says McDonough. Anyone who's trying too hard, people, who has been married to his wife, Ruvev, since 2003. I'd always had in my contracts that I wouldn't kiss another woman on screen. My wife didn't have any problem with it. It was me really who had a problem with it. Man, something's going on. When I couldn't do
Mm,
it and they couldn't understand it, Hollywood just completely turned on me. They wouldn't let me be part of the show anymore. He struggled professionally and personally after the alleged firing, including a bout with alcoholism. I have one boss, and it's God. I think some of your other bosses would disagree, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my boss happy. The actor who plays retired rodeo star Joan Joe Wainwright in The Last Rodeo said he convinced his wife, who is not an actress, to play his love interest in the film as well. Again, Joe, not an actress, so taking jobs like that one from people like you
yeah.
so that they could do a love scene. Joe, your thoughts?
Maybe he shouldn't be an actor.
That is exactly my thoughts.
You
Get out of my
know,
head.
it's like, oh God, I really hate blood, but I'm a phlebotomist. Like, you don't have to do what makes you uncomfortable, but
Mm-hmm.
recognize that maybe you won't get work. Like, gosh, I'm a stripper, but I hate taking off my clothes. Then don't do it. There's certainly acting jobs where you don't have to kiss someone else. Um, I wonder though if he would be okay playing a game character and kissing a man.
I was thinking the exact same thing as
I
well. And
wonder,
by the way, bad
uh-huh.
on this is why you and I are pros. Bad on that podcast for not asking him that.
Yeah. Because the thing we I was taught very early on in high school, when you're playing a gay character is, well, it's just love, right? Like it's just your character is in love with this person. Love isn't different depending on gender. Lust isn't different depending on gender. That's like the same. So, there should then not be an issue with either. In terms of wanting to kiss another person at all, um, totally his choice. Like I know some actors have no nudity clauses in their
Very different.
contracts,
Very different.
but again,
Indeed, not to go back, and Timothy Oliphant's a very has a very dirty sense of humor, and he's just such a wonderful guy. But he was talking in the Conan thing about refusing to do a butt scene and getting a butt double, and that's a completely different thing.
yeah.
But
Well,
to not
I know.
kiss,
Well, Johnny here says, did he ever use stunt lips? I mean, that is definitely harder to do. Although we did see it. What was that movie? Was it Jonah Hill and Nicki Minaj or no, it was
I can think of somebody who did that.
no, but remember, like famously in this movie,
Yes.
these
Well,
two
I have
actors.
one that's in the hindsight gotten very controversial, and it was not at the time. A little movie called Six Degrees of Separation.
Okay.
That's where this term, I believe, comes from. Will Smith, one of his first big acting gigs, and he got a lot of kudos for it because he was playing a gay drifter, and
Hmm.
he has to kiss Anthony Michael Hall, and
Oh
he
yeah.
talks to Denzel Washington, who advises him the black community will never forgive you if you do this, and he demanded a stunt kiss double
Yeah.
on that. And Denzel Washington has so regretted that that has come out that apparently, and I hate that I know this, in Gladiator 2, while not it being in the script, he had decided that his character was bisexual and randomly, without warning, kisses one of his co-stars in a scene. And that scene didn't get made. But Denzel Washington made it clear in every interview that that was something he did so as to further separate himself from this entire incident that happened in the mid 90s. But there you go.
Yeah.
And again,
Well,
I don't have a life, and this is why I
well,
retain these
that's an
things.
example of a stunt or a kiss double, but Fan knows what I'm talking about. There's a movie where they CGI'd these two
Why did
actors
they do
kissing
this?
because they didn't want to kiss each other or the chemistry was off or
So
something.
what? That's their
Who knows?
job
But like it's
and the
that I mean,
expense.
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
I got to
issue.
find out what movie that is.
And if you think
That is so weird.
that kissing someone could potentially harm your marriage, I think your
Even his
marriage is
wife claimed.
already on rocky ground then.
Well,
Like,
I'm sorry. I always go to the worst in humans because humans are the worst, and all this type of behavior strikes me as someone who has done something bad in the past and then is therefore trying to continue to make amends for it. And that is a very
potentially.
guy thing. And but I mean, he goes out of his way to say his wife didn't really care and that this was his thing. Dude, you got to put bread on the table, or again, change careers. But if
Yeah.
they script says, and it's in his contract, okay, then don't try out for movies where there's kissing. That would be
Well,
the other
or
thing.
I understand if you don't want the gratuitous sex scenes. I understand that
But
there's
it's
like so
yeah.
much in it now, but sometimes for storytelling, especially if it's a love interest, it's there. We're not, I don't know, kissing. It's like at this point, for some people, it's shaking hands, to the French at least. So
Well, and the
I
only
don't know.
person whose only God is boss is various members of the cloth or the heads of other religion.
Yeah.
And ideally, the priest should be kissing people. Sometimes that has not been the case. But, like, come on, dude. Just give. And, like, if, and also, like, my whole thing, too, is like, if that's the way it is and you still want to be an actor, no one's stopping you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some issues. You're gonna have some trouble, and I understand why you've been blackballed a lot of jobs if you're gonna make it this difficult for them. But when when you are just so willing to talk about what a saint you are,
Yeah,
come on.
you better really be one
Well,
because
not only that, but it's just gross.
yeah. All right. Well, we do have to get moving, or rather, I do, because I have stuff to do today. But before we do, Bill Barry wants to know, how do we book you for a private tour, not with Bowery Boys,
You
saying
can,
they'd like to do the Gangs of New York tour with you?
Barry. You're my new best friend. You know what? Who gives it? I'll do my dumb Hotmail account. So that's fine to do. But also, you can book me on private tours for Bowery Boys. And I think I could throw in my Games of New York, but why give them money? Even though I love them. And they've got a new one on old bars in New York, and they didn't allow me to be one of their guys on the podcast. And I was very upset about that. But it's still a very good podcast. So you can email me, DM me too. It's great on the old Twitter or whatever. But b.schulz, no T, b.schulz at hotmail.com. And yes, I am on Hotmail, and I'm humiliated by that. But that's all the more reason to tip me more so I can finally afford Gmail. They charge for that, right, Joe?
I don't think so.
No, they don't. I just too lazy to get Gmail.
But what? But
Yes,
why
I would
don't
love it.
you-
I'm certainly amenable to your schedule, but I would love to show you around downtown because there's so much to see.
But you really should then, Bill, have an email just dedicated to that, and it's
I
it's
will.
really not that difficult to set
I
up.
will. It's just that if you will note that the Knickerbocker Tours, to play on words, is taken off URLs, and ideally, I will have an email with that on it soon for
Okay.
all of the private tours. It's just been a very slow process.
Understood. Okay, well, that's great.
Condescending.
Let's see.
Thank you,
Anything?
Barry.
yeah.
Anytime you're free. I mean, I'm
Um,
very busy, but
I'm trying to think if I have anything to share. Oh, did I tell y'all I started watching The Americans
no,
with
I'm
Kerry
told that's
Russell?
good.
It's
And also,
pretty good.
my guy crush that is friends with Lauren and Andrew Howard, and I've still yet to meet him. What is it? Matthew Reese, another
Okay.
Welsh actor. He is the husband in it.
Oh, I didn't realize he was Welsh.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Funny.
Welsh have got an inordinately amount of good actors in
Who are great at
Hollywood.
accents.
Yes, I guess.
Um,
But he's in that. He's very good. But I think I haven't seen it.
yeah, recommend if you're looking for a new show. It's quite good.
I will check it out.
But thank you all for tuning in. I think I have an outro. Y'all bear with me. Smartass Al says that The Americans was great. I agree. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We
Thank you,
will see you
guys.
next week. Have a great one. Drink water. Be good to each other. Okay, bye.
I'm sure glad that's over.
That's all for this episode of Mornin with Bill and Joanne.
I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts.
Shut up, Bill.
Subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either.
Very nice, Joanne. Touche.
For videos of this and other episodes, go to @MorninBillAndJoe on YouTube.
Bill, put the sword down.
Run, Joanne, run!
Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We would do it for you. Okay, that's a lie.
I never liked your show.
Sorry, wasn't listening. See ya.
Negative.
Truly. Bye.